speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk? I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm in. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog?
Hey guys, it's Junior Izanu, candidate for Grand Prairie City Council for the Place 8 at-large seat. I'm back today at another early voting polling site. Early voting ends today at 5 p.m. Please make sure you come out and vote. And early voting will end altogether next Tuesday, so please make sure you come out and vote. Don't wait till Election Day, which is May 1st, Saturday, May 1st. Make sure you come out and vote. And if you need a ride, let me know. I will come pick you up, or I'll have a volunteer come and pick you up and bring you to allow you to exercise your right to come and vote. So please make sure you come out and vote and let your voices be heard. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. God bless you all. Catch you later.
Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Man, I thought I had my mic on. I guess I didn't at first. But you know what tonight is? It is Thursday night. Want to welcome everyone to the show. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter. D Live is always in the house. As you heard Junior say, come out and vote. Early voting is going on across the world. Please let your vote count. Let your voice be heard. Now, I had the opportunity to go vote today, and I actually hung out with Kurt Johnson today. And for some reason, that video would not show, but I'll play the sound bite in a little bit, but the video wouldn't show. So I want to welcome y'all to the show. Marissa Ward, welcome to the show. My girl, who is always on the show on Thursday night. You know what time it is. Miss Risky, how you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Little frazzled.
Oh, excuse me. It's been a great day today. How was your week, your day, and how's everything going for you?
It's all right. I mean, my car, it's weird not having my car. It's in the shop. Took it in for a recall, and then they found all these issues, and I'm like, what? It's a lease. Let's trade it in. But I wasn't thinking, so we'll see what happens tomorrow when I pick it up, because it was supposed to be ready today, but the washer fluid, like the hose or something, had a leak or a hole in it or something, and when they went to refill it or tap it off, it was just pouring out.
Oh wow, that's not good. Never
Car's not
good.
even old, like less than 4 years old. Like I turned it in December.
Sound like it's bad parts they put on there.
Clearly, because I've never even heard of that. But when they showed me that video, I was like, what did y'all do?
Exactly. And also, I know I just said, welcome to the show, Marissa Ward. If y'all don't remember the show Monday night, she's the candidate from Longview, Texas, that is running. Early voting is taking place right now. Please let your voice be heard and get out and vote. The election is May 1st, but don't wait until May 1st. If you're in the city of Grand Prairie or Longview, Texas, please get out and vote. Let your voice be heard.
I'm sorry, Miss Frisky. No, I'm running on. I'm half asleep right now, so excuse me.
Listen, I'm multitasking too. I like that ADD kicked in, and it's just been a lot today. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
I cooked. No, I got a new grill. Welcome to the show, T-Cal. I got a new grill, so today I actually did a burger. Did some burgers on it, and after we eat, what happened? That, so I'm running on fumes today, but I know I'm gonna be doing better once you come on with the history and we'll get started with the show. I'll be all right.
Well, I'm not gonna start it. No.
Don't do me like that. Please don't do me like that. I'm
um,
struggling.
this story is it is not that long because there's not a lot of information on it. But one of the listeners brought up this person, John Hanson. And I remember this being like, there was something to this story. And then once I was reading it, I was like, aha, that's what it is. So basically, John Hanson, they claim that rather than Barack Obama was the first black president of the United States. They stated that before George Washington, he ran the country when America got its independence from British. Um, it's not true. So what had happened was
What had happened was.
there was a white John Hanson.
Mhm.
He was a merchant and a public official from Maryland during the era of the American Revolution. In 1779, he was elected as a delegate to the Continental Congress after serving in a variety of roles for Patriot Cause in Maryland. He signed the Articles of Confederation in 1781 after Maryland finally joined the other states in ratifying them. In November 1781, he was elected as the first president of Confederate Congress, of the Confederate Congress, following ratification of the Articles. And for this reason, some of Hanson's biographers have argued that he was actually the first holder of the office of President of the United States. He was, I guess, in office from 1779 until 1781. So after that, there was a black John Hanson, who has also been, named the first black president of the United States, but and possibly the man on the back of the $2 bill. But John Hanson, the black one, was a black librarian. I'm messing up that word, but forgive me. It's been a long day. He was a senator who served from Grand Bassa County. Um, he is he is alleged to be the person depicted on the back of the $2 bill, but he's not the first president of the Congress. So he was born into slavery, but then he purchased his freedom and immigrated from Baltimore to Liberia at the age of 36. Hanson was associated with the American Colonization Society, and then he migrated to Liberia in mid 1800s. The ACS was formed in 1817 and set to free African Americans to Africa as an alternative to emancipation in the United States. Although, the black senator worked to relocate African Americans to Liberia, but his efforts weren't exactly for the betterment of black people. He actually was reported to be working with the American Colonization Society and used to lure African American hopefuls or Americans hopeful of having their a better life in Liberia. But Hanson is said to have corroborated with the society to plot and trick African Americans into migrating to Liberia to live under a better form of slavery. But slavery is slavery, so so they go from one bondage to another in another uh, country or county. So Hanson arrived to, was it Monrovia, Liberia in 1826. He became a merchant and later a politician, serving 2 terms in newly created Liberian Senate. In Liberia, he joined a growing mercantile class. He was elected to the Colonial Council in December 1840 and was elected as one of 2 senators from Grand Bassa County in the first election after the county's or country's independence. He also served as commissary in the same county county for several years, furnishing a house for storage of arms and ammunitions. Hanson eventually died in 1860 and was mourned as a faithful and patriotic servant by Liberian President Stephen Allen Benson. So he never served in the United States. And so there is a dark man depicted on the back of a $2 bill. They're claiming that that man was one of the founding fathers, Robert Morrison or Morris. So that, but again, there's not a lot, of information. Like I had to go through a lot of sources together, just little bits of here and there. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And hey, Marcellus.
I noticed when he came on, you started fumbling your words and everything else. I said, boy.
And then I was going through the change. My voice was changing.
Welcome to the show, Marcellus. Thank you for always tuning in, even though it's just on Thursday. We appreciate it. No, but Marcella's been rolling with us for a while now, so definitely appreciate you for always tuning in. T-Cal said, I knew it. There was a reason I like $2 bills.
I mean, I just like them because they're weird, and then when you use them, people are looking at it like it's counterfeit, like they've never seen it.
Now, T-Cal, don't get it twisted now, because he tricked a lot of black folks to go over there for a so-called better slavery.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying, but hey. That's some good news right there. You always bring some good history in.
And listen, I mean, if anybody's got a topic, I'll research it and, look up some stuff and try to find some juicy information.
And that's where that actually came from, because last week, someone actually asked if we ever heard of John Hanson. And we was like, that name sound familiar. And Risky said, hey, I'm going to do a research. We'll do it. She called me on Sunday about it. Said, yeah, we're going to do this one. so that's good. I'm glad to know that I appreciate you for doing your research. And
thank you.
So I definitely appreciate it. Marcella said, I like research too, Risky. Oh, I think I added that a little bit on there.
No, I'm sure that was the same tone he said it in.
He didn't put it all in writing, but I just put in my mind. That's what I heard him say. I like to do research too, Miss Risky. T-Cal said, "Yeah, stretch that, but I do like $2." So if you're just not tuning in, you are listening to Speak on It with Who You With, Kurt Dog, and
he forgot who he was for a minute.
Shh, don't tell nobody. And I'm not. I'm drinking water.
Same here. Listen, it's It's been a week. Well, actually, it's
Yeah,
just been a day for me. Like, I'm just like,
yeah. I'm
where am I?
drinking water after eating that burger. When I tell you that itis kicked in, I'm struggling. So I'm drinking plenty of water. TK said, um, them last $2, I'm not gonna lose. I know Marcellus know about that. He in Louisiana, but that JT, my last $2. Uh, but definitely, thank you for always bringing the history facts. I love them. It make me think a little bit when you bring them up. I'm like, okay, I need to do this, do that, keep me on my toes.
Mhm.
But since we're talking about history, I do have a question for everyone tonight. It's a real easy question. It's not hard. How do you feel about the Asian hate bill passing? And and black folks been dealing with this for a long time.
Yeah, listen, and I don't want to but like how white folks were, all lives matter. But listen, why do we need a specific bill protecting Asians who, like, a couple of them got smacked in the face? But we've been getting smacked in the face for over 400 years. Like, and where's our bill? Like, we have all these amendments giving us rights to things, stating that we're citizens of the United States of America. We can go to school and live wherever. And then, even what was it? One of the amendments, or Civil Rights Acts, protecting the African Americans and people of all races and ages and stuff like that. They extended it to the LGBT community, or my rainbow family, because the letter that they just keep extending it. So I'm just going to say the rainbow family, and so they extended it to include that. But the problem is with these laws and civil rights acts, it doesn't seem to be enforced
When it's dealing with black
when it's
folks.
dealing with minorities in the rainbow family. Um, we get the most abuse, and like I said, we've been dealing with this for over 400 years, and it's like they hear our grievances and they're like, you know what, we're gonna listen to this because we want to make sure all Black Lives Matter, and we're gonna take up the cause and we're gonna look into this. And then something happens and they're like, oh look, we're gonna go over here because these transgender kids want to play sports and we need to check their genitals. Like, that's their takeaway from all of this. Like, wait, no, we were talking about lives and shootings and all this, and you want to check some genitals of some little kids playing soccer? No, government. No, focus. Like, I don't mind these bills, but when you single out a certain group and say, listen, this group here, the Asian community, we're going to protect, and we're going to set a bill so you can't beat them or do anything and cause them harm. But isn't that what all our rights are supposed to be? Like,
Exactly.
all these amendments and civil rights is to protect all human beings. Like, so what does that say? It's like, forget y'all. All right, Asians, you're up. We're
Now, now
protecting you.
see, now see, here's the key though, because even though they signed this bill and it passed through the Senate, so even though it's passing, but are they going to enforce it? Because I feel like it shouldn't be a title on it, and I think the reason why they haven't signed the bill that deals with black people and say no more hate for African Americans or black and brown skin. I think if they done that, all these unarmed shooting in America would be hate crimes because they hate the color of our skin, and they automatically think it's a problem just because of the color of our skin. So I feel the law should be the same for everybody. And it's sad that we have to do hate bills. If you enforce them from the beginning, that'll stop it. Stop slapping people on the wrist and hold them accountable.
Exactly.
So I feel to come out, one incident happened against the Asian. The shooting in Atlanta is what sparked it all. Well, let's go back. The last administration is what sparked it all by calling it the China virus and all of that. Those type of racist comment. He's the one that sparked all of this. He's the one that sparked the food that went in Atlanta and shot up all those no bathhouse or
Is
massage
a
parlor,
massage part. Yeah.
shot them all up, and then the attacks happened after that. So
But it's funny because like you see this throughout whenever there's something going on, whether it's too many illegals crossing the border. People were
exactly,
against Mexicans. They were doing everything. They put them in cages. They were abusing them, shooting them, trying to wrangle them out. And now it's Asian, the Asian virus, or and now they're attacking them. But we've always like it's almost like we're all the viruses in one, so because they mistreat us, and like the laws that are in effect don't really apply to us, like they're not enforced. Like somebody can come into my apartment, shoot me, they'll get off because they said, oh, I thought she was in my apartment.
exactly.
Like if I did it, oh, life.
And don't forget, she's trying to get her charges lowered to get out
Oh
of
yeah.
prison earlier, and that hearing will be next week.
Yeah, we don't even get second trials. Like we get plea deals. Well, you can have life or death. It's like, but I wasn't even there. I didn't do it because it's like no one wants to represent us. No one wants to be associated with us. And even though people say, "Oh, I'm, colorblind. I don't see race and I don't see that." Like people co-sign on this idea that we're lesser, and whatever the media says, you know, that's the truth. All black people live off the system. They don't work for what they get. They always want a handout. They're having 15,000 kids, and it's like, no, we're still a minority for a reason. If we were doing all that reproducing, we'd outnumber you. Like for real. Like think about it. Like people really need to think about what they're saying. Like maybe say it out loud and process it. you know
Think about
and
it for a minute.
right, like does that really make sense? Because you work in an office building and there's a lot of black folks there. Do they look like they live on the system? Do they look like they're uneducated? Do they look like they have 15,000 kids? And if they do, are they taking care of them, or is this government helping them? Like you got to ask these questions. Like I don't believe that everything I see on TV about white people is true. Like not all the white people live in double wides, hanging out and having sex with their sisters, drinking beers all day, living off the system, and having 15 kids. Like no, that's not. That's just a small subculture. But when it comes to us, we're not afforded that luxury to be like, no, that's just a small subculture. They all say it's all of you.
They put us all in a small
Right. There's a
basket.
robbery, or somebody black does something wrong. Well, why did they do that? Why are you asking me? I'm not a criminal. I don't know. Maybe he was, why did it, like, they don't ask these questions to other white people. They're like, oh, he's from a broken home. When we're from a broken home, they're like, well, they're all from a broken home. No.
Exactly.
I mean, I grew up in a two-parent household. Most of my peers did too. So I'm like, where are you getting your stats from? So, I mean, it's just funny when it comes to us. It's like we're so far below even like a dog. Like they would go out and risk their lives for a poor dog in the rain, you know, whether he's aggressive or not. They'll be patient with it. But when it comes to us, we're not afforded the right to be, have mental illness. We can't have a bad day. We're just all criminals. You did it. You pay for your crime. Little Johnny does it. Kills 4 people, driving drunk. Oh, probation. I mean, he's got a lot of life to live.
Then run off to Mexico.
Right. Casey
And
Anthony wrapped her baby up and threw out like garbage. Oh, she's young and she could start all over and have kids again.
mm-hmm.
Where they do that at?
And she out scot free.
Right, she's blonde now, I think, and in California, living her best life.
Oh,
Like,
she left Florida. She must got ran
oh
out.
yeah, she was going to school out. I think I want to say in UCLA or something. It was somewhere. TMZ called her, and this was a few years back. But yeah, she left Florida. So,
Yeah, that's a shame how she did that, baby.
yeah, but we can't even spank our kids, and we're in there for 20 years. Fire a stray bullet, 20 years. We can't do nothing.
Are trying to stop your abusive husband and end up getting 15 years, and here it is. He had a restraining order against him.
Yeah,
Broke
like
into
it's
the house.
just so unbalanced. And that's what we're fighting for. And this is what we complain about. Like until you do right by all people, like, or especially the ones that are, you know, systematically abused, and like we got to have video proof, and even that can be, negated. Like at times, it's like, no, this is going on. It's continuously going on, but there's nothing to stop that, you
Now,
know?
you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm out Who You With Kurt Dog on Thursday. I told you it's one of those days.
Wrong day, sir.
On Thursdays, my girl is in the house. Miss Risky, she brought us some good history. Right now, we are talking about this hate crime bill, Asian hate crime bill, that was passed through the Senate today. And I want to know how you feel about it. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair to the LGBTQ community that get hate crime every day, as well as Black folks get hate crime every day?
Yeah, the
So
trans community is just getting abused,
abused, murdered, and everything
and they
else.
brush it under the rug.
You might
Just like anything, like we can go missing, like our kids can go missing today. Well, they ran away. Why are we automatically runaways?
and,
Like,
and not only that, if there's the key, you can tell the difference even with the Amber Alerts that come out. Mostly when it's dealing with a Black child, it's about a week or two later before it come out. But you let two little Beckys fake,
no, just one little
fake.
Becky and a dog.
Well,
All the alerts go off.
I'm referring to the two little Beckys down in Kaufman this past weekend that fake their kidnapping or whatever.
Oh, were they Caucasian?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, they
I
whipped
think
up
they
a scheme
were.
to fake their abduction. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm just like, come on now.
It just so happened one of the guys was Hispanic.
Yeah.
And he's in jail, which he should have
Well, of
been,
course he's
because
in jail.
he shouldn't have been with the underage girls, no way.
Right.
But they faked it, and they need to be charged with it. Look at all the resources that came behind it.
Yeah, they're gonna end up getting a fine and counseling because they got to figure out why the little Beckys did what they did. Well, clearly you're not
They
giving
was
them enough
fast.
attention. Like, come on now.
They was fast.
But
Allegedly
let
fast.
us do it. Listen,
Oh,
you can't listen. A little 5-year-old, she's missing. Well, clearly she ran away. She has a habit of running away. When did this habit come? She's 5. Like, it's always negative and more extreme, and the punishments are harsher when it comes to brown and Black people.
exactly.
And we need to stop that. Like, if all people are created equal and all people are protected under the law, then enforce it and have it balanced. That's what we want to have done, and see a balanced legal system and a balanced world. Like, you can't just be like, well, I mean, I know this was his first time committing a crime, but so, he's just a kid. The black dude does, something lesser. Oh, 20 years automatic.
Exactly. And then on top of that, when you have people that, when we have laws where they protect certain group of people, that's where the problem is. If the laws was the same across the board, a lot of this would be prevented. It won't happen. But it's kind of like saying, oh, it's okay to go out and shoot black and brown people, but you better not but not mess with these Asian folks.
Right. But and then in researching like all the different laws and all this stuff, so way back when, there was an Enforcement Act of 1871, which forbade meetings of the Ku Klux Klan members and considered them unconstitutional. Have
Mm.
you ever heard of Ku Klux Klan? They
I,
still work. They still in they're holding meetings, right? I mean,
they
am I
sure
right?
are.
Right. So, like, the fact that they're not considered, like, especially the stuff that they did in the 50s and 60s to our people or in other minorities, like, why aren't they considered a terrorist group? Like, for real. Like, I got questions. Anybody know?
Well, the thing is, reason why they wasn't considered as one. I want to say they're considered as one now, but I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. I would need to research it real quick. But the reason why they wasn't, I'm gonna say back in the old days, because that was the law of the land.
Of
We
course, because
had
it's
people
like,
in
yeah, you
power
have
that
government saying that hey, yeah, black folks can vote. But if you stand there in front of that church with a rifle and deter them, we're not going to say anything.
exactly. That's why I'm pushing the fact right now is early voting. Get to your polls. I know in the Metroplex, DFW, I believe the polls close at 5 tomorrow, and I want to say early voting is to next Tuesday, but the election itself is May 1st. It's very important to get out and vote. I'm gonna tell you something else. Talking with Mr. Johnson today, Kurt Johnson, the city of Grand Prairie has a bill, a $75 million bill. But that's in order to give the freedom for the city council to decide who they want to get the bill. It won't be one of those bidding things. They can basically hook their homeboys up or homegirls up, make them rich. So it should be equal across the board. That's why it's so important. These folks that are running for these office, Marissa Ward in Longview, Texas, Kurt Johnson, Junior Izunu out of Grand Prairie, it's important that we rally behind them because the city of Grand Prairie don't have anybody on the city council that look like me. And they used to have one person on the school board that looked like me. So it's very important that we get out and rally behind these brothers. And the sister in Longview, Marissa Ward. We need to make a difference. This is the way we can make a difference because our laws depends on our local election. It's very important. That's why they trying to change the laws to cut the early voting hours down and uh, making it hard for you to vote. No. Why would you close the polls at 5 and most people don't get off work till 5?
Exactly.
That don't make sense. You leave it open to 7 for they have time to get there. So let's prove them wrong. Get out and vote. Do whatever you have to do to go vote. Your job cannot prevent you from going to vote. It's your rights. They don't want that smoke if they tell you you can't go vote. They could get sued. Voter suppression. No. Go vote. Let your voice be heard. But go ahead. I'm trying to. I woke up a little bit now.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I'm all for, protecting everyone, but it should be the same all across the board.
It
The
definitely
same
should be.
protection Becky and her family gets, little Lakeisha and her family, the Johnsons, should have that same, rights and the same freedom and luxury. And just like, our Asian friends and Hispanic friends and our, rainbow family, we pay taxes, we live here, and, we treat people with respect and as you should. But, you should give it back. And then, like, I don't understand why, like, certain people are like, well, they're aggressive, they're this and that. Well, maybe if you stop mistreating people, you wouldn't get that aggression back. Because it's, even Tina Turner she said enough. Like, enough.
She gave Bite that smoke right here in
Listen,
Dallas.
right. Ran across 35 at Market Center Street,
So
one of the
did.
busiest areas.
Gave him that smoke.
Listen.
Every time he thought about it, he started shaking.
He probably got twitched like Smokey did in Friday, just twitching.
I'm gonna just say she did like how they used to say, "I'm gonna tie that eyes up." She tied
Right.
that eyes up.
Yes. That's the definition. And
So
I'm like, the way people mistreat us and the fact that we're just like, we just take it. Like, we're the most forgiving group of people. And sometimes I'm like, we need to stop this. And we need to start doing that Malcolm X type, by any means necessary type thing, but they'll tear us up with all their organizations. But I don't know. We may have allies now, and we may have greater numbers, but I don't know.
well,
But something's got to happen.
either way, the best way of making sure we can prevent things like this, getting out and vote, go vote, make them change the laws to benefit everyone. If you just sitting back and accepting what they're saying, you're not showing up to city council, to the meeting with the mayor and all of them, letting them know that you're not about these games. Yeah, they're gonna continue passing these laws. So
And you become a part of the problem, like just sitting idly by.
what's going on, Nick Mitchell? Watching in on Facebook. Man, I sure wish you would go to Speak on it with Who You With Kurt Dog page if I could put your message up on the stream because you always bring good knowledge. He said, I'm not forgiving. Lot of laugh. They don't want the smoke.
Listen, and then they'd
So
be like, "But I was nice to you people." You people?
exactly, you people.
It's like your hood just poked out.
But the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that hey, it's a different time now. We have to take a stand. We cannot get things done if we don't take that opportunity to get out and vote. We got to let Greg Abbott know we don't care if you change the laws about voting, cut the times down, we're still going to vote. So let's make it happen. What's going on? Radio Chaos is
Hey,
in the
radio.
house. My brother from Canada, Miss Risky, he called in the other night. And
Yeah, I
I
heard it.
think, yeah, we
I think
stayed
I was
on the phone
confusing
for.
people because I was on my Facebook page. They're like, "Who is this person?"
Exactly. But we was on that show for 2 hours that night. Radio always bring good knowledge, and I appreciate him. And you're more than welcome to always call in. But most, but on the real though, we don't need to classify laws that's dealing with hate. It should not be a hate law. It should be a hate law for everybody and not just one group of people.
Right.
It's all type of hates. Um,
Exactly.
but as a black man, our race have dealt with it the most. Over 400 years, we're still dealing with it. That's why we have so many senselessly killing by the police or somebody who feel like their life is threatened. And that's why I say this bill that Texas is trying to make in law that anybody can carry a gun. I feel like that's putting a bigger target on blacks' back for the
Yeah, it's
simple
like
fact
what, open carry without a permit.
open
That's what it
carry
is.
without a permit, no training, no nothing. Welcome, Angela W. Smith. Thank you for tuning in, listening in on Facebook. But I feel like that's a putting a bigger target on our backs because as soon as old Stevie or Becky see a black man walking with a pistol on their side, they're gonna say, "Oh,
I felt
my
threatened.
life was threatened," or "Call
He was walking too
911.
fast.
He got
Right,
a gun."
right. And he's
And
like 3 blocks down.
exactly. So look how many folks that been killed because someone called in and said they had a gun. What was the child name up in Ohio? It been so many where the cop got out the car, and as soon as he got out the car, shot a child.
Well, that
So
was where was that? That wasn't
I
was
forgot
that on
his name.
Ohio? Because there was a little girl, the 15-year-old, that got shot.
Oh, you talking
They
about
had a fight. Was it Makia? I forgot her
I
last name.
think so.
Something like that, 15-year-old girl. Now, I have a problem with this one. Like, it's so many things that went wrong with this story. So first, the kids were fighting, and they said Makia, I think that's her name, was being jumped by 2 girls or women, and she ended up with a knife that I think they said was handed to her by her guardian to protect herself from these girls. Now, if you see the video, there's like 15,000 adults. I don't know if they were there when it started, but it looked like it was a gathering. But it was one too many adults there that could not handle the situation. So I have problems with that. So the cop comes on the scene. He's already drawn his weapon. Like, clearly, there wasn't a real threat to his life. She was focused on keeping, people away from her. But I mean, that's their side. But I'm just saying, like, of all the options, he could have used mace, could have
Well,
tased her. And
well,
then, I don't know. I just have a lot of problems with the story.
I'm
But
not
the
a
parents
police
should have
officer.
stopped it.
I'm not a police officer, but from the video I seen, and unfortunately, I'm gonna call it like I see it. Unfortunately, when that young lady fell and the girl was going toward her with the knife,
Hmm.
as a police officer,
Right.
he have to protect and serve. He don't
Right.
know. He don't know who called
Right.
for
And
the
I
police.
respect that. Like I said, there was 1,500 adults there before the officers got there that needed to have stepped in before it even got to that point.
Well, because we live in a society that people have the notion to videotape, laugh, and joke about it
Right.
instead of trying to make peace.
Right.
And
Like,
sometimes
nobody
you
wants to pull kids apart. They just see it as entertainment. Well, guess what?
exactly
Your incompetency got this girl shot. And
now,
whoever gave her that knife, because like I said, allegedly her guardian gave her that knife.
and that's wrong. That's why we have to teach our kids better. We have to teach our kids, not the
Especially in this
streets,
climate. You
not the
can't do
streets,
anything.
not social media. We need to teach our kids better because it starts in the home first. You don't wait until a child become a teenager to try to teach them. You
Exactly.
started from the first day they came on this earth.
Exactly. You nipped that right when they start talking and giving you attitude. You hit them up.
It's,
Like, listen here, little
instead of
kid. I'm taking
well,
your juice box away.
you don't even have to do that. You
No,
correct
I'm
a
just saying.
child when they're wrong and don't stop laughing about it. Stop
Right.
laughing.
Not everything
That's
is
the
entertainment.
problem. Because now everything people do now, they put a camera in a child's face and they laugh and joke, put it on social media. Then as soon as something happened, um, then it's a problem. So yeah, it's that's crazy. No, you can't
Right.
do
Because
that.
that's gotta mess
Um,
up a kid, like putting all their embarrassing moments online to, you know, what do you call it when they just to when the videos go viral. So I'm like, at what cost? Like you're tormenting this kid, and then when they turn it into a teenager, now it's a problem. Like, but
exactly,
you ruined this kid. Like you lowered their self esteem. They don't know how to handle stress because you're the main culprit, antagonizing these kids with a video camera and posting it on your Facebook. Like, not everything is meant to be shared online.
exactly. But that's the society that we live in today. We have reality TV shows that show this type of behavior. We have it all over social media. Then people take it back into their own home and think it's funny, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
sad.
And now people are cooped up in their homes because of this coronavirus. And the kids, they already were detached and didn't know how to communicate with their friends, as outside of their texting. Like nobody has like these one-on-ones and, have these conversations. They don't know how to deal with people. They don't know any of that. The things that we had to learn, the communication skills we had to learn when we were growing up, they're lacking that. And now the kids that are locked up for a year and a half now, they're losing their minds. Like all
Exactly.
they have is online and social media and reality television to model their lives with.
I'm gonna say this: stop relying social media, uh, uh, the streets. Raise your kids and raise your kids yourself. Raise your kids yourself, because it do take a village to raise the kids, but
But
you
now the
all.
village is messed up because they be doing all sorts of things with them kids. Did you see the one story, the teacher?
Oh
And she
Lord,
was like a young teacher having sex with underage kids.
leave the
And
kids
there was
alone.
another story. I was like, what is going on with these white teachers?
Leave the kids alone. The babies haven't done anything. They
Right.
innocent.
Already
Leave them
messed up.
alone. But radio did ask us a question. Have you seen the new anti-riot bill in Florida?
Now, do I need to Google that?
I just did, and it looked like the governor's been sued. He's been sued over it. So, and that came out 3 hours ago. I guess he signed the bill 15 hours ago. So he's getting sued, which, once again, that's the importance of getting out and voting. Florida should be getting this man out of office. He need to be removed just like Greg Abbott.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out what this bill is about. So it's they're trying to create a tougher penalty for people who participate in violent protests.
Not even just violent protest. Oh, I hate when this thing do this. Once you sign up for their group uh, and everything. Um, so uh, it's saying that it argues the new law violate First Amendment protection for free speech, the Amendment protection against cruel and unusual punishment, and the 14th Amendment protection of due process. So let me see, what exactly did he put in this bill? Uh,
Because I see one point it says the opponent of the bill said it was a racist reaction to a problem that hasn't occurred in Florida. They saw it as an attempt to squash the voices of groups like Black Lives Matter.
and the so-called anti-bribe bill. that was signed on Monday was a response to a nationwide demonstration that occurred in the wake of George Floyd murder.
Makes it a second-degree felony to destroy or demolish memorial, plaque, flag, painting, structure, or other object that commemorates historic people or events that would be punishable by up to 10 years in prison.
So when they have those Trump rallies, when they have, I'm just asking,
Right,
I'm
that's
trying to
what like,
understand it.
cause
Will it be the same law for everybody?
probably not.
Most likely,
Cause
it probably won't be.
I mean, cause I could have sworn it was illegal to storm a government building, but they kind of brushed that under the rug when they went to the Capitol. Like, let it be some brown people. Terrorists, get the
Oh,
bombs,
wow.
get the
So,
troops.
did you see what radio just put?
No.
So, radio said apparently under the new bill, you can drive your car into protesters if you feel you are in fear of your life and be protected from being sued in civil court. Ooh, I almost cussed. That's some BS if I never heard none.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they are notorious for running their cars
exactly.
in
Because last year we did a
peaceful
story.
protests.
Yeah, we did a story on a guy in California last year that
Yeah, but it
actually did the
also,
same thing. Ran over a protester, and the cops they was out there,
yeah.
but they talking about he didn't see him. How that? How you gonna
Wait,
say he didn't see them?
it's like you can't even see the road. You see people first.
He didn't have
But
his
it
lights on.
just happened recently that somebody ran over somebody, but I think they got him for something. They may have actually put him in jail because it was like he just ran over random people. It wasn't even like a big crowd, and I think that's where he went wrong.
And
So
then
I think there's going to be some loopholes. A lot of people using their vehicle.
basically, basically what they're saying, if you know it's a protest going on, you can go down there, run over folks, say that you was in fear of your life, and you will be okay. That's some BS. That's all it is.
And
So,
in
so
Florida, like, what is it, the stand your ground? Now,
exactly,
is that like for your home or is that when you're out and about to stand your ground? So if you see a bunch of minorities protesting and you feel threatened, you stand your ground and plow them down with your AK-47s?
see, that's what they
See,
know back. No, back in the old days, they
see,
used to.
radio. That's where I was thinking. See, because I was like,
Uh,
because this dude that just ran all these people, it wasn't a large crowd.
See, back in the old days, they used to say if it's more than two black people together, they plotting.
Well,
So
even now, I think you can't have more than like 5 people in a group that are minorities. Like even now, isn't that crazy? But you can
what?
go, to a mall and a whole bunch of Caucasian gathering. There's like 20 or more kids just running amok, and it's like it's okay. But you get Tyrone and his friends doing like TikTok videos. It's a problem.
Exactly.
Like,
Kind of. You made me just think about something. Earlier this year or last year, it was a guy on social media doing a video in this community, and this Asian guy came up and started calling him a nigger and all of this, and were being very racist. Told him, "Yeah, I'm racist," and here it is. You already know where I'm going. They passed
listen,
a bill about the Asian hate. What about the hate that Asian give?
right? Like it's all across the board. But again, like I was saying, it seems like the world's just rallied and they're like, you know what? We'll modify our abuse on you and we'll just direct it to the blacks. They get
Exactly.
dumped on.
Well, Mike, welcome to the show. I'm glad that you came back. Mike is a big Trump supporter. I'm okay with that. Everybody's welcome on the show. But Mike, I do have a question for you. So when you have thousands of people showing up for a protest, where should they be?
I mean,
If
because
there's no
we're legally
sidewalk,
we can protest in a peaceful manner.
yeah. What about when the Klansmen what's the other ones? The Oak Keeper or something, or
QAnon and all
yeah,
them.
QAnon, all the ones that attacked, did a terrorist attack on January 6th. What about them when they have their rallies? So where should we do these things at? I just want to know. Inquiry mind want to know because I don't know the answer to that. You're saying protesters should not block the roads. So please enlighten us where we should do it at. I just want to know. Um, he also said once there were protesters that blocked railroad tracks, don't need to say what happened. Well, if you go to sleep on the railroad track, I'm sure the same thing gonna happen. um, uh, he also said they should block roads legally with city council approval with fences. Well, when you are marching,
Yeah, when you're marching, you're moving in a certain direction. Usually, the road takes you to where you want to go, and people can
exactly.
only walk, so fast. And if you have thousands of people on the road, sorry, I mean, it's just like a school zone. You're just gonna have to wait or try to, hope that they part for you to pass.
But hold on, Risky. A couple of months ago in North Carolina, they had, was it a couple of months? It may have been during the election time or something, but they had a permit to protest in that town. But the police still pepper sprayed people,
Right.
still caused the riot there. Matter of fact, it was some Caucasian elected officials out there that spoke out about it, said they was wrong. They had the proper permits, but I guess that wasn't good enough because they was black.
Yeah, there's always a loophole when it comes to us.
Yeah, I'm just saying, call it like I said. Um, I heavily lean Republican, but also partially agree with the Democrat. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
Eh,
like right in the middle.
I am too. I'm about who's going to do what's right. If you're going to do what's right for your community, I'm all for it. But if you up here lying to us and get in office and forget about how you got up in office, I got a problem with that. So yeah, that's why I tell everybody. That's why I continue to promote Kirk Johnson, Jr. Ezenall in the city of Grand Prairie, and also Marissa Ward out in Longview, Texas, for the simple fact I believe in what they're trying to do. They tired of these elected officials being in these positions and not doing anything. Matter of fact, the two in city of Grand Prairie that is up for reelection, both of them have stated, well, at least one of them have stated, they don't have time to be a city council, but they won't step down. Then here it is, it's one in there. Now, I don't know nothing about the man, but he only have a high school education. But Kirk Johnson is a retired serviceman. He was in the Navy, retired, served our country, have 3 degrees. And here it is trying to make a change in the city of Grand Prairie where there's no black people on city council. And the city of Grand Prairie is very diverse. Every race should be represented when it come down to city council. So yeah, that's why I support them. So hopefully you go out and vote too, Mike. I'm not sure where you're located, but hopefully you do go and vote. Um, But that's all good. And I'm glad to know that you are down the middle. But I look at things the way I see it because that law is wrong to give people permission to run over people. And there's going to be some that try it also. It will be a lot of people that will try to do that. As soon as a protest happened in Florida, they're going to go down there thinking it's a game, and they're
And
going
pull
to
a Kyle Rittenhouse.
or George Zimmerman, and they're going to run through there and try to run over folks. And then next thing you know, we're going to start having folks, instead of shooting folks, they're going to start hitting them with cars.
And AK-47.
Exactly. Radio said, oh Lord. When Trump went to that church across the street from the White House, he had his private goon squad clear a path for him. Violence was fine then. Exactly. That was
Do
wrong.
as I say, not as I do. That's
That was
them
wrong.
rules.
That's just like when he was running in 2016 and people kept um, attacking folks at his rallies. And he's telling them, it's okay. I get you out of jail. I'll pay whatever it costs. And people realize that fool was lying to them because some of them tried to sue him. But unfortunately, they couldn't sue a sitting president. But you should have been smart enough not to listen to that fool. So
But
the
the
blame
fact
is on
that
you too.
you thought that bullying was okay, that's a problem. Like they didn't do anything to you. Like what? I just don't understand the rationale with some of these people.
I don't understand it either. I'm to the point I just don't even try to understand it no more.
Yeah,
I didn't.
because it's so backwards, and like I said, it's been going on for centuries, and there's like no change, and like we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go.
A long way. Now I just ask question. Well, why do you feel that way?
Oh,
Or
when I ask questions, they're like, "Why are you whining and bitching about it?" No, I just asked a simple question.
and I did not get a
You
chance to
seem
go over
triggered
there. But you had some comebacks on that dude.
because I
You
was I was bored.
you had.
So
I told my wife. I said, look, they don't realize she's probably
listen.
responding between emails.
Yeah, okay, so somebody posted us about the the bill with the anti-Asian bill or whatever it's called. And so I just put I think what was my question? Uh is this just for Asian people? Like it was just a question. Like, but I knew it was going to trigger some people. And then the trolls came out in rare form. And so so it's just Asian Americans, and then I put the emoji, and this
I didn't
one
even see
guy,
that earlier.
Manish Roberts, was like, since they are being currently targeted for their ethnic background, so yes, why are you crying? And I was like, I'm not. It was just a question, but clearly you're triggered. Do you need a Snickers? So it went on and then people backed me and started putting emojis, and then he wrote like like two separate paragraphs. Like this is one of them, and then I think he did that a few times, and I was like, dude, ain't nobody got time to read that. Like it's Facebook. Like it ain't that serious. And so the last comment, I was like, he was like, I was like, a Facebook post battle is never going to happen. I'm above you. So have several seats, 24 to be exact, to the left, in the back. And then somebody put a Snickers in the comments for him to eat while he's in the back to the left.
Kind of like the commercial. You need a stick.
Right. And then I put, I supported my compadres and put the finish him Mortal Kombat. And then he came back with, the clown. So he had nothing to say after that. Like, dude, gone. It was one question.
I showed my
And
wife.
the trolls just listen, don't try me. Like, don't come for me unless I send for you. Because
I,
I've got nothing but time. I'm working part-time from home and I ain't got that many emails at work. So bring it.
showed my wife the text. We riding down the street cracking up. I said, look, they don't realize she working at home today. she responding between emails.
Right.
But
Oh,
that
and this someone I said, all right, I'm over this. I got to get back to work now. Some other jamoke came on and was like, oh, so you're getting paid to troll. And I was like, well, if I'm smart enough to get paid for these comments, then what does that make you? Nothing after that. Like, seriously,
they
all day.
they clocked out.
Right, clearly.
But one real quick statement came in. Radio said that bill is just an anti-protest bill called an anti-riot bill. It's all about branding with Republican. Yep.
What kind of Brandon?
Like I tell y'all all the time, some of these clansmen, they have taken off their robes, they put on uniforms, they put on a judge robe, they put on politician suits and make laws to benefit them. That's all that is. That's a hate crime bill. They're going to continue to hate, or let's say not even a hate crime bill. That's a open season bill on BLM or anyone that goes out and protest. Um, yeah, but now, Michael, I don't know if it was you I had this discussion with before, but a lot of the protests do start off pretty peaceful. And just because the protests get violent does not mean it's the organization that put it on. Normally, you have some Antifa or some other hate groups come in there that doesn't like BLM, and they pretend like they're a part of it just long enough to start issues. Like if the ride is going on in a nice area or in a poor area where somebody go and break a window and somebody need food at their house or they don't have a TV to watch, what you think gonna happen? They're gonna be like, hey, it's free. I'm not saying I would do it because I wouldn't, but when you have the wrong people to come a part of the protests that have the mindset of being peaceful, but then you had the wrong people to come in and damage
Right.
stuff and make it open for people can do things. That's what we're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. And I mean, just like the internet postings, people, come in and stir the pot and they set grenades. And that's just what they do. They're bored and they set grenades and hope
Yeah,
somebody steps on their landmine and say, ha ha ha, come to me. I've got all these things for you. But like you said, most of these protests start out as peaceful. But I don't think all, there's more things that is considered a riot. Yes, a violent protest can turn into a riot, but any gathering of people, whether it's a protest or, say, a school assembly, and you don't like their rules, and they start throwing papers everywhere, that could be considered a riot,
or who I
So
have
it's just a large group of people, and it's not necessarily. I mean, I guess in a way you're protesting with the disagreement, but it doesn't always start out as a protest. Like
exactly.
a riot can be caused by any number of things.
Exactly. Welcome to the show, Neva Patel. I've been seeing you, haven't seen you on in a while. I normally see you come on quite a bit, but I haven't seen you in a couple of months. Pray all is well with you, and thank you for always tuning in. Um, also, it was something that, oh, now you sent me a post yesterday, which I didn't. I've been tied up this week doing a lot of things, and I seen when the announcement came across, but I was watching on my TV. I should have went on social media like you sent me the other day.
I sent you a lot of things. Which one was
I
it? Pray tell.
well, the one with the comments talking about uh the jury was hacked or something, and talking about it was rigged and the judge was rigged. He was all a part of it, and all the comments saying that it was a fake jury, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like,
Well, I mean,
really?
those are the same people who think Trump is still a president. So
I
I'm just saying.
love it when I see stuff like that. Like whenever I'm able to catch the trout, the hearing with Cal Rittenhouse, and I go on there and I just love the comments they give. That's when I show really be picking up numbers. I go in there and be like, hey, why don't y'all tune in tonight? You want to talk more about this?
Did you look at the one that I sent you? Now, I haven't researched this, but it's kind of funny. I'm just going to say it, even though I haven't researched it, haven't validated. I'm just going to go up, but it's a funny subject.
Which one?
Herpes infection possibly linked to COVID-19 vaccine studies say.
I haven't researched it because I was like, okay.
Because it was Fox News, but it was like, I didn't see if it was for real, Fox. um, but yeah, they're talking about the herpes infection, maybe a side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine. Um, but they're saying scientists in Israel identified 6 cases in a new study of patients developing a skin rash known as herpes zoysters after receiving the Pfizer vaccine, according to the study in the Rheumatology Journal. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all they have. But it's like over there, and to me, I think their issue is they got it the other way, and it just so happened to coincide with their injections, and they just don't want anybody to know that they've been dipping and doing it because they're kind of strict on their laws over there. So I just thought that was pretty funny.
Okay.
Um,
Well, according to WFAA, local news station, verified, no, the COVID-19 vaccine does not cause herpes.
yeah,
So,
that's why. But it's funny, and I was like, no, they were dipping in some dirty pools, and just so happened to get the vaccine, and just look, itchy blisties.
yeah, and I think from what I see, the one on Fox News actually say herpes infection possibly linked to COVID-19 vaccine study says, and look like this is like on a stomach or side or something. They
Yeah, I
have
mean, yeah, I mean, it's like chicken pox. You can get them anywhere. Like, listen, I got some stories when I did disability claims because I didn't even know that was even possible. But since you don't know who it is, anyway, so I get this file, and they have like the diagram. You have your doctor's notes, and they have the person, in prone position, and they mark the afflicted areas. Person, I'm not gonna say if it's male or female, had herpes sores all over their body. They couldn't work because clothes hurt their body. So yeah, so it wasn't like they couldn't come to work because you can't put on clothes, but just where those marks were on that body. I was like, what were you doing and where for that to have happened? Because it was all over the body.
I
See, that's
don't
why I
even
stay in the house.
I don't I hate like sometimes when if I get like a bump on me or something anywhere, I'm trying to bust. My wife be like, look, just hold on. As soon as I feel it, I'm squeezing.
Well,
trying
yeah, because
to,
sometimes you can put bacteria in it, and squeezing can harm it,
yeah,
and you get inflamed and bacterial infections. So it's frowned upon, but we all do it.
I'm putting alcohol on it, everything. I'll be like, look, alcohol peroxide. I'll be like, look,
Get you some witch hazel, buh.
I don't like them, so I'm like, look, if I have a bump, I'm trying to bust it. I don't care.
Trying to bust it.
I'm
That
like,
just
nope.
sounded funny in my head.
um, no, but
See, the
that's
show just
cool.
went way left. That's just what happens.
Occasionally, it's been a while, but occasionally,
Yeah, I'll just be with the commentator. Several seats, 24 to be exact, to the left in the back.
exactly. Um, yeah, but definitely, I think if we're gonna sign a hate bill, make it for everyone. Make it for
Right.
everyone.
Or just enforce the laws we have. Like, that's it. Enforce the laws we have and make it, you know, across the board. You got to enforce these laws and make it applicable to everyone. Like, don't just pick and choose who you're going to say, yeah, we're going to, go this way because little Becky's, she's a pillar of this community. And then Tyrone does the same thing. Oh, he's a criminal. He needs to learn. He's an adult, but he's 10. Oh, they grow up to be animals and hardened criminals. And little Becky's and killed 3 people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. She just needs
Marcella,
therapy and counseling.
Marcella said they don't like us. I understand that now. I've been
Well, I
understanding
think
that.
because we're so resilient. Like, think about it, because we're the most copied group of people for our music, our style, just just our being. And even though, like, we keep getting knocked down, we keep somehow coming back up, and just joyful and all smiles, because all we know is here. And anything up here, we're just like grateful for it. And I think they just don't understand it, and they crave that and want it, and they try to steal it, but it doesn't work out that way, for them. So I just think it's just unfortunate that we're put in that position just because we're darker. And that's it.
Forgive my language, but we're too damn nice and forgive. There's no reason to have apologized.
Right, because
It's
it is what it
about the
is.
way you feel. I understand.
Yeah,
I truly understand.
but we
You
are.
have, we are, and
But even since slavery, we taken in everybody because we had to. We created families when they weren't even blood, and we still carry that on. Like, you got a cousin, family situation ain't working out. Guess what? We take that kid in. We don't do it the legal way. They just end up in our homes because you're part of the
not
family.
their family. And and you know what's crazy? Back in the old days, they didn't like us, but they sure let our ancestors raise their kids.
And see, and that's another thing I never understood. Like, we couldn't eat at your counters. We couldn't drink from the same water source or use the same restroom. But your
But
kid
we,
could suck on my booby.
I didn't know you was going that route, but we cook your
Well, but
food
still,
for you.
like, listen, it's coming from the black woman. Like, seriously,
They
you all on my booby.
the baby
I was gonna
wanted
say tit,
chocolate milk.
but
The
I
baby
mean,
wanted
but
chocolate milk that day.
right, like, I never understood that. And then the men were all in the slave quarters making these little copper little babies, little little swirly babies, but we are not allowed at the table. Okay, that makes plenty of sense.
And
Oh, we
then
got
you want us,
diseases.
but we're cooking your food. We're cleaning your house,
Having sex with
washing
your
your dishes.
husband. Well, it's true,
It is true. That is true.
but we couldn't drink water from your fountain. Okay.
Uh, exactly. That's exactly how they feel. That's why I'm asking everyone, if you are in the city of Grand Prairie, vote for Kurt Johnson, Junior Easno, or if you're in the city of Longview, vote for Marcellus. And I keep wanting to say Marcellus. I mean Marissa Ward. Marissa Ward. Vote for them because they're trying to make sure it's equal across the board. The contracts come up and they don't go out for bid like they should be, then all of a sudden, little Stevie or little Joe or little Becky got that contract, and you wonder why, and they don't even know what they're doing. They just go out and hire some day labor to do it. I'm just saying, you got to put people in those positions that's gonna make it equal for everyone. Please get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Um, uh, I keep saying your name, but I don't know. Hey, might might be a sign you might need to get on the ballot in Louisiana. So you might need to get on the ballot. I would promote you too. So that might be your calling. I don't know, but definitely what I want to do, because I did a video with Kurt Johnson today. For some reason, it won't allow me to be great and be able to upload it for you can hear the picture of it. But but I do want to play the sound bite of it where y'all can get out and make a great decision on who you want to vote for. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm telling you who I will vote for, because I trust what the brothers and sisters are doing. So definitely get out and let your voice be heard because these guys are doing some great things. I'm gonna play the sound bite real quick and then we can uh, let it, let everybody know where you're gonna be, where they can find you at Miss Risky. And
Several seats to the left in the back room. No.
all right,
No.
want me to do the sound bite first, or you want to do that
Yeah,
first?
do the sound bite.
Okay. Yo, what's going on? This is Speaking with Kurt Dog out here with Kurt Johnson. They need to get out and the city of Grand Prairie need to come out and vote for this brother. He have big plans for the city. Kurt, tell them what they need to do. I need you to come out and vote early. This is a tight race right now. In District 6, I believe if I can win District 6 with over 2,000 plus votes, we can also carry District 8 to Junior. Junior is another person you can come out and vote for. We have plans for this city to ensure everybody's included. Economic development, contracts, all those things we need to ensure you guys have someone representing at the table. That's what we're here for. You heard it from Kurt Johnson himself. Come out and vote. Early voting stop at 5 today and 5 tomorrow. So definitely come out. And also next week, don't forget about it. Come out and check them out. Peace. There you go, Kurt Johnson. And he is a retired, I believe he served in the Navy. So definitely get out, support the brothers. They're trying to make a difference. And Junior's only 22 years old, but the brother is smart, very educated. So definitely get out and do it. I encourage young people to take a stand, run for these elected positions to make a difference in the city. And Junior is a very smart young brother as well as Kurt Johnson. And Kurt had done a lot of different things in the community. He didn't just wake up yesterday and said, "Hey, I want to vote." I told him, I said, "Look, Mr. Johnson, if you want to come back on the show, encourage people to do it live. You're more than welcome to do it." He said, "Well, as soon as the polls close, I'm going out and knocking on doors. I'm going to continue to knock on doors until the polls close on May 1st. So I appreciate the brother, appreciate what they're doing, and please get out and support them. Um, Marcella said in order to move things on the table, we got to be at the table. Vote and get us a seat at the table. Let's vote.
Mhm.
Shouldn't it, don't make excuses the reason why you can't vote. Now, Junior did tell me because we was talking and he said, man, it been a lot of people showing up for this election. And which is good. It's very good. Even when I got ready to vote, I asked the lady because normally this election, it may only be a couple of hundred. And I asked her, I said, have y'all been having a big turnout? She like, yes, we've been having a lot of turnout, more than what we normally see. So that's a good thing. But please vote smart. That $75 million bill they trying to pass in Grand Prairie, don't do it.
Yeah, we got to make some changes.
Don't
Like I don't
do
know
it.
if any of you guys have seen, and one of my favorite movies is The Count of Monte Cristo. We're pretty much the Edmond Dantes, and everybody else is Ferdinand Montego. And if you know the reference, listen, we got to come up and make that change and switch it around.
Exactly. And
Because
and I think part of that $75 million bill is to raise either the trash pickup, either $2 or $3 more, and cutting the amount of days that they pick up your trash. And when they cut those amount of days, guess what? Somebody losing a job.
exactly.
So do not sign that bill that they're trying to pass. Allow some fresh meat get in there and let them come together, put a bill up that is for everyone. Just like Kurt mentioned that the city sent out a survey for the city of Grand Prairie and asking people about this $2, either $2 or $3 cost. I can't remember exactly what it was. They want to raise the price of trash pickup by either $2 or $3, but they sent out a survey without a prepaid return envelope. So they knew you weren't going to pay to get it back.
Well, nobody goes to the post office anymore. Like
I'm
for
just
real.
saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the type of games they play. And then for his opponent to tell him he don't have time to be a city councilor. So why you won't step down? And I feel it should be a term limit. Cut them off after a certain length of time. Cut them off. Um, but hey, I'm I'm telling y'all who I'm voting for. Uh, Kurt Johnson Jr. Uh, I know I keep messing his name up, but Mr. Jr., the 22-year-old that is trying to make a difference in his city. So I'm voting for them. If you're in Longview, if I could vote for them, I will vote for Marissa Ward because the sister is powerful. If you didn't catch the show on Monday, you need to go back and watch the replay. So, Miss Risky, let the people know where they can find you.
On Instagram, you can find me at RSKEE. Um, RSKEEbooks.com. I have a few of my works on there. Clearly, I'm on Facebook trolling people. Um, but my risky page, I'm not so active on. So if you find me on my page, you feel free to join.
Matter of fact, just look at my page. You'll see her on there somewhere, and follow her also. Miss Risky has some great things going. Hopefully, we can share it in the near future. Not right now, but we will be able to share with what she have going on. This
Yeah,
sister's
hopefully things work out because I don't know the timeline, but it's finishing up.
what,
We'll see.
like I say all the time, don't forget about me.
Who?
Who you
I'm
with?
gonna, I'm gonna pull a Mariah. I don't know him.
Oh, but hey, I'm always happy to be on the show, which is a blessing to have someone so smart and kind and like a little sister to me that is on the show. That is and she do keep me in check. Y'all have to catch her sometime because she be like, "You did what?" So I'll be like, "Okay, I don't like you today." No, but she's that is my sister. She's always supportive, so I appreciate it. You can find me on social media. I'm not on there as much, but if you send me a message, I will respond back. Um, but definitely always tune in to the show Sunday through Thursday. On Thursday night, Miss Risky is on the show with me. If you have any show ideas, you can always reach out to us by email, which I'm gonna be changing the email. I'm tired of all these spam mails I'm getting about the beneficiary and Western Union and all of that and other stuff. So that email will be changing. Hopefully, will be changed by next week. But you can reach out to me. Um, and also um, tell a friend about the show. Share it, like it, subscribe, uh, click the notification for when you know, for you can know whenever we come on live, and you can always chat live with us during the live show. Not when I do the replays and somebody calling 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and I thinking I'm my answer. No, I probably rolling over about that time, but still. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. No matter what time you tune in, continue to share the show, like the show, and always be a part of the show. This is a platform for everyone. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all Sunday night. If the good Lord say the same, love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.